This is KMTV and welcome to the Firing Squad on KMTV. My name is Nathan Charles and my colleague Wade Williams, Cyrus McGill, are also affiliated with this program. On the Firing Squad, our discussion points like Lucas Ritchie, American missionary, is en route to the United States after he was acquitted from all murder charges in Liberia, but a judge there in Liberia. Senate investigate the Ministry of Public Works over $21 million roads contract. And former EPS employees, or we say alleged until they have been identified, are locked behind bars. This after the protests, their dismissal. Motorcyclists, as usual, they are agitating the new measure to be instituted by the Joseph Human Boycott leadership on a no-go zone to certain parts of Monrovia. As you know, the National County Meet kicks off in Liberia. The only sportive activities that unify Liberians is in full swing. Which county are you routing for? These and other stories we'll be looking at on the Firing Squad. Hopefully my colleague will join the program. My name is Nathan Charles. Let's go into our first discussion point. American missionary Lucas Ritchie was recently acquitted by the court. As you all know the story, Lucas and his wife had it that they were in a conflict resulting in to this catching of his wife's throat that nearly led her to her demise. But there were all kinds of stories, and the government of Liberia took up the case. What went wrong after the case opened for the February term of court? Lucas Ritchie went to trial, and it was another dramatic scene a few days ago when the judge acquitted him of all charges. Let's play you after the judge acquitted Lucas. His wife, Jessica Lloyd, was not happy with the verdict. She cited several irregularities and bribe from the judge. Now, Jessica believes that all of her testimonies produced, witnesses, did not still convince the court. She spoke after the ruling, but we are hearing this morning that Lucas is already at the RIA and in flight to the United States because he is a free man, according to the court. But his release has sparked controversy in the country. And Jessica spoke after the verdict. Let's play you a clip.
And I'm grateful to God because if I were going to die, I was going to be the same thing. Like, I was going to get justice. If I lie, sitting here and then know what's happened that day, with all of the evidence, all of the statements, like people who saw what happened, and then the judge plus his lawyers, and then they can say like he's not guilty. Like Lucas' lawyer didn't ask me not even question close to 3 questions that day because they knew that if they were going to ask me questions while I was going to explain. So they didn't ask me questions, and the judge sat down there. He knew everything, just for little of nothing. And even the brother I talked about, he didn't even pay attention to that. They called him my parents and are in their office wanting to bribe of money so that we can let go. And I don't know how much they gave him, but it seems like he's not even looking at the future. It's like he hasn't seen the wrath of God yet. For his children, he has girls' children. His children, not only his children, but his generation will suffer what he has done to me today for not giving me justice. Fine, if because I'm going to go in jail, okay, I was still going to move on with my life. And even if he did not, I still have to move on with my life. So, yeah, I'm grateful to God in my life. I'm grateful to God in my life. I'm here today. Just came here and then talk to the press about what is going on. I'm grateful I can't get not very easy. All of the trauma, trying to kill somebody was it enough for denying the justice? Seriously, this country is worse. It's worse. If you don't have money, you are nothing. If you don't have money to do things that you are nothing, I'm sure that job got grabbed. That you grabbed him to say what he has said today. Yeah, because he can't even see all of the evidence and everything. You still deny someone justice.
You guys said no need Jessica, especially the very first day. You saw the police, I never need Jessica. Okay, the judge look at that, and he knows that. Today he said they are surrogate, they plan on having surrogate baby. How can I explain himself? And today he giving, he said, look at himself. It's okay.
Indeed, Jessica Lord explaining her frustration after the ruling, and you listening to family members there crying. So this information from the court, from a judicial reporter, hopefully we will speak to KMTV judicial reporter Jackie Dennis. We'll get in touch with her. We're trying to do that as well. But just from what we've been gathering from a judicial reporter Regis Watson at the court, he said few things, and I just thought to share it because myself, I was not in court, and we depend on these reporters to give us some bit and pieces from what went wrong during the trial. So Regis Watson, he reports from the court. Few information he had released on his social media post. He said, let me share, I'll just paraphrase and read some of the details. He said, let me share with you what happened during the trial of Lucas Riches and Jessica B. Lord, because I sat in court from the onset of the case to the very end. This is what happened during the trial. The incident took place in the Palm Farm community in Dixville Township on September 14, 2023. I'm just giving you a summary of the entire case file. Now, it is good for us to know Lucas Riches was arrested on the same day of the incident on December 14, 2023. The grand jury of Montserrat County drew out a 7-count indictment against Lucas Riches, thus indicting him with the crime of criminal attempt to commit murder and aggravated assault. The matter was immediately forwarded to the court, and a trial was set for the February term of court. Now, when the case started, the prosecutor attorney produced 9 witnesses, including the victim Jessica Lloyd, 5 regular witnesses, 3 subpoena witnesses, and a rebuttal witness, which was Jessica Lord herself. Before coming to the court, these 9 witnesses made individual voluntary statements to police investigators. When they came in court, they were asked to whether the statements taken at the police station were their statements, and all of them answered in the affirmative yes. Sadly, their testimony, contrary to the statement they were giving to police or at the police station, 3 of the regular witnesses testified that they were told, they say, that's what it means, they were told about the incident, they say, by someone. For instance, the state prime witness in Ernest Phillips' testimony in chief had very in it. it was contradicting. He told LMP investigators that he saw Lucas beating the victim with an iron on her head and later took a knife and cut the victim's throat. And he immediately rushed to the scene to rescue the victim. Now, on another account in court, he said, I saw the victim kneeling by the car, and the defendant pulled off the car, and one of the doors hit her in the neck. One of the doors hit her in the neck. More to that, the victim herself, Jessica herself, while on the witness stand, did not mention that it was the defendant who cut her throat. In court, you have to say exactly and provide information. She did not say that. In court, I'm quoting from Richard Watson. He sat in court. He's a reporter. Moreover, she told police investigator that when the angry mob were moving towards them, she told them, "You'll leave him. He's my husband. He did not do anything to me." She confirmed and affirmed this statement while on the cross-examination stand by the defense counsel. Jessica told them, "Oh no, when the angry crowd was coming to hitting, I told her, 'You're leaving, that's my husband.'" While on the stand, she did not tell the court that it was the car or it was this man who cut her throat. She did not. One key mistake the prosecutor, which is the government, because this is a criminal case, said one key mistake that the prosecutor attorney made was that they did not produce the alleged knife and iron that were used to commit the act. In court, even if you shoot somebody, you have to carry that gun, that bullet shell, you have to carry that. They did not produce the knife. They claim Lucas cut slugs to get through, or the iron that was used to commit the act. That's one, according to Richard Watson. He's a judicial reporter. We hope to get our KMTV reporter to collaborate this information. So now, okay, I think we're trying to get our judicial reporter to continue. Maybe just continue this information. We'll hopefully to join our judicial reporter, Jackie Dennis. One key mistake the prosecutor attorney made was that they did not produce the alleged knife and the iron that were used to commit the act. That's one. Secondly, the photo from the crime scene was never produced. And in a criminal trial, a prima facie needs to be adduced in court to convince someone of a crime. This was not the case. The judge ruled that the testimonies of the 9 witnesses were uncorroborated. Based upon that and the other legal citation and Supreme Court opinion, he ruled that he did not commit the crime. So that's just a brief information there from the case involving Lucas and Jessica. But as we speak, we are hearing that Lucas is in flight to the United States. He's a freedom rider into the United States, but he's left Liberia, as you see the photo there from the RIA in Liberia. So Jessica Lord is not happy. Let's listen to her again as we connect our judicial reporter.
If I lie, standing here and then know what's happened that day, with all of the evidence, all of the statements, people who saw what happened, and then the judge plus his lawyers, and then they can say that he's not guilty. Like, Lucas' lawyer didn't ask me not even question close to 3 questions that day, because they knew that if they were going to ask me questions while I was going to explain So they didn't ask me question, and the judge sat down there. He knew everything, just for little of nothing. And even the brother I talked about, he didn't even pay attention to that. They called him my parents and are in their office wanting to bribe of money so that we can let go. And I don't know how much they gave him, but it seems like he's not even looking at the future. It's like he's not even, he hasn't seen the wrath of God yet for his children. He has girls' children. His children, not only his children, but his generation will suffer what he has done to me today for not giving me justice. Fine, it's because I'm going to go in jail, okay? I'm still going to move on with my life. And even if he did not, I still have to move on with my life. So, yeah, I'm grateful to God in my life. I'm grateful to God in my life. I'm here today. It's 10 years and then talk to the press about what is going on. I'm grateful I take care of my family. It's not easy, actually. It's not very easy. All of the trauma, trying to kill somebody was it enough for denying the justice? Seriously, this country is worse. It's worse. If you don't have money, you are nothing. If you don't have money to do things that you are nothing, I'm sure that job got grabbed. That you grabbed him to say what he has said today. Yeah, because he can't even see all of the evidence and everything. You still deny someone justice.
You guys said no need Jessica, especially the very first day. You saw the police like no need Jessica. Okay, the judge look at that and he knows that. They are surrogate, they plan on having surrogate baby. How can I be yourself? And today giving said you guys said it's okay.
Liberia set another record, and I tell you, even our lawmakers are taking this thing very seriously. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Fonati Kufa, was speaking about the situation. Mema Brice from Bon County also spoke about this situation. A couple of Liberians have been weighing in on this Jessica Lord and Lucas Rachel situation. As you know, this lady in the justice system is a female, and in code, I tell everyone in code, if you cannot produce evidence, you cannot convince people. I know our justice system is corrupt. There's no holding back your mouth about that. But sometimes when these little mistakes are made in criminal cases, the legal people use that at their advantage or advantages. So if the prosecutor, knowing that these are things you're supposed to produce in court and fail to, either themselves will also compromise, because if they know they do not produce the ABC evidence of a piece of information in court, they will be kicked out of case. You don't know. These are prosecutors. Like you listen to Jessica, they attempted to bribe her 10,000, but that's not the issue. The issue is sometimes people just want to settle out of court and move on with their life. Again, it's a sign of guilt. So it is both, but the issue was the crime Lucas was held for. And when they went to court, they did not produce this evidence. And from what we've seen, hopefully we'll talk to our judicial reporter to get independent, at least just to collaborate the information from the other reporter there and our own Jackie Dennis to know what went wrong, because the whole country, I mean, everybody, this is down to the heart of everyone, because there was a big story all around like Liberia and the entire world. This missionary, even in the US, people protest at Lucas Church in Iowa. So we've been joined by our judicial reporter Jackie Dennis. She's on the line from Liberia. Jackie covered the code for KMTV. She screened for us. Jackie, this Lucas and Jessica case. Tell us about this verdict. What went wrong in the court?
Okay. Yeah, hello. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you for having me on the show. 1 second. Okay. The verdict from the court. The case, when the case was called for hearing, Lucas was indicted by the grand jury of Mercer County, December 14th. So when the case was called, when he was arraigned by the clerk, he pleaded not guilty to the crime.
Okay.
And then he was asked whether he wanted a bench trial or a jury trial. So he said he wanted a bench trial, which means the judge will serve as the juror and the judge. Injection. So she started feeling weak after he left. So when he left, she called him and she also explained it to her mother and told her that, oh, she's not feeling too okay. They tried getting to Lucas, and then Lucas came to the house and then he apologized for what he did.
Okay.
Now let's come to where the incident happened now. So when he came to the house, she said he should buy her some food stuff. But then when he came, the food stuff was not sufficient. So she told him that they should go to the supermarket to buy some stuff. So when they got there, she told him that she wanted to go for a ride. That was at the Liberia. So when they went for the ride and thing, from there, she said Lucas had a knife. She saw him with a knife, and then he said his back tire has problem, and he tried to cut down from the car. While facing it, he told her to come to help him in the process. While doing it, she said Lucas gave her the iron to help her. So while she was trying to hold it in, within that time, she just heard that sound from the neck, and then he knocked her, and then he started to slash her throat. Okay. That was said at the Liberian National Police. But when she came to court on the wasted thing, she said all of this. But then that aspect where she told the Liberian National Police that Lucas slashed her throat, she did not say in court. She said she didn't know what hit her. Because when she got out from the car, while trying to help Lucas, he said there was in her hair, and then he tried to take the knife from her hair. Then within that time, she felt a hit from her back, and then she dropped. So when she dropped, she felt a heaviness over her. But then so our witness came around to help her in the process, and then she said, "Oh, you don't do nothing to him. He is my husband."
She said that in court.
She said that in court, and that aspect of saying, "Oh, he is my husband," they asked her more than 3 different times. Did you affirm that what you are saying is true? She said, "Yes. He didn't do anything to me. He's my husband." And and then she said she didn't even know how her neck got slashed after she had told the police that Lucas slashed her neck. But then when she came to court, she didn't say that. So that alone, and you see, then all of the witnesses said that testify that what years say, like I tell you later and then you tell someone else. And in court, it's not a hearsay basic. It is about the fact and the evidence that you will produce. So all of the witnesses, with the exception of one of their key witnesses, which is Agnes and Philip, who told the court that he saw Lucas and he gave 2 conflicting statements. At the Liberian National Police, he said he came from he was trying to cross the road and then he saw the white man over the gate, and then he went to inquire what really happened. And then when the white man saw him, he left over the gate, and then the white man shot the gate. And after he shot the gate, and he went and helped the girl because he didn't want that girl to fall on the ground before she hit her neck on the ground, and then blood come from her head. That was the account that he gave to the Liberian National. But when he came to the court, he said he was going to the tailor shop, and then he saw the white man killing the girl and slashing this girl. So, and then he started calling people to come to help. And you see, he started calling people to come to help. So when the eyewitnesses came there, and how he left and went after the defendant, where he himself was beaten because he was trying to protect the defendant. So looking at all of the conflicting statement, it was based on the testimony that or how the judge ruled and coming up with that kind of verdict.
Who was the judge in that case, and who were some of the state prosecutor? What are some of the lawyers?
Yeah, and Councilor, the judge is Nelson B. Cheney, and Councilor Gongolo was one of the lead lawyers in the case too.
Which one, the Gongolo?
Tawan Gongolo. He was one of the lead lawyers for Jessica. And one of the things that the judge also stressed on was the alleged weapon that the prosecution claimed that were used on the crime scene was not brought into the court to show that, oh yes, this is the iron and the knife that the defendant allegedly used, that were not brought into court. And the crime scene, no photo of the crime scene was not showing in court. And when Jessica left, according to her mother, when she took the stand, and even Jessica, they went to Cyrus and clean it around and Bannerville before going to the ELW hospital and even GFK. None of the health practitioners came to testify to that. Ooh. So it was based on all of that. The judge came up with that ruling. Like what she said at the Liberian National Police, she said, oh yeah, yes, he slashed my throat. And she could say that in court. I mean, so then her statement was going to corroborate with what she said at the Liberian National Police.
She said they did not ask her. She said they did not ask her sufficient question because they knew she was going to talk from her interview. She said they did not ask me a lot of questions because they knew I was going to talk. So why could he? So I mean, the entire thing was messy from all of this statement. It's a criminal case.
So now coming back on the reporter now, because she had a time to say, oh, he slashed my throat and this. So when she came to the witness stand as reporter witness, that was the time that she said, oh, and Lucas slashed my throat, and also she will also offer $10,000 to resolve the case and all of that. You see. So it was based on the hearsay evidence, and she herself testimony that she gave, and the witnesses' testimony, even her testimony did not even link. I think she could say, oh yes, he slashed my throat, like what she said at the Liberia National Police. Okay, but she said it meant to anything to her. And he is her husband. And she never even knew that he was going to kill her. How she got to know that her neck was slashed? It was at the time Lucas were about to escape the scene, and then the door hit her. And then the eyewitness said, I will only see. So I said, oh, but you bleeding, you bleeding, you bleeding. That's what the time she got to know that. But she don't know what really slashed her throat.
Yeah, because this kind of case, from the ruling of the judge, when you send the ruling, I read through them, and some of the opinion of the judge were key. Once in criminal case, once there is a contradiction of your statement, it creates doubt on your credibility.
Exactly.
So the entire case was messy.
It was messy. Exactly.
Wow.
It was messy.
And as we speak now, Lucas is a free man.
I tell you, he's a free man.
Can the government of Liberia go back to retry this case? Is it possible?
All left with Jessica lawyer, because they took an appeal anyway. They took an appeal, so all left with her lawyer. Maybe they could file for a retrial or so, or she could even sue him to the civil law court and take it another train.
Sue him for what? To the civil law court, damages or what?
Oh yeah.
Wow. Thanks for providing this clarity. Because when the case came up, everybody was shocked. Like classifying the judge as a criminal. He took bribe and stuff like that. But what is the moment like at the court right now? What are some of the cases you are following on this Friday from the court?
Oh no, for now, nothing really happening here now.
Okay, so
yeah, we just observing. So by next week Wednesday, and the training and position hearing, the Supreme Court will be coming down with the final ruling. So let's just wait until they can come down with their final opinion, then we can discuss on that.
Jackie Dennis, thank you so much for joining us from Monrovia, Liberia. KMTV judicial reporter there, explaining the situation with Jessica Lord that resulted into her case being not going into her favor. In court, you have to provide all of your evidence, and it is saddening to know that she went through all of that pain. The moment to get a redress, she could not, only because the evidence produced were messy, contradicting. Once in criminal cases, not like you go in the community, you're discussing when you're in that court. One information you fail to provide can thwart the entire process, can thwart your entire case. We hope that our legal people, the state prosecutor, once it's a criminal case, they need to go into this with all of their minds, with all of the evidences. It is saddening to hear that all of the equipment of knife and iron that they claim Lucas used during the commission of the act was never produced, because these are things that you need to produce in court. If you say somebody shot you, you will produce the gun. And I know that I don't know how the LMP who went on the crime scene, even the lawyers could not gather these evidences, these pictures to show to the judge that yeah, these are things that happen. And if you cannot convince the judge, hey, I'm sorry, even if you are a judge, you still need to produce evidences. People can be drugged and raped. So it's not the thing. People can be drugged and killed, but they will still produce these basic information. So that's not the issue. The issue is, even if you don't remember, but the aftermath, things on the scene, crime scene, they always secure that. I heard that they were looking for the knife in that bush. They turned that whole bush around. They looked for the iron. I said, whether they found it, nobody knew. So these are basic information. When you contradict and when you do, yes, see, she said, oh, she told me, he told me, are witnesses. That's what they say. They didn't say they say. Also, Nathan is way in the US, then he go and say, oh, they told me. No, it's I saw it with my own eyes. And once you can provide these things, our legal people need to know better, and our police too need to be trained in preserving securing and preserving crime scene. So it is sad that this lady is going through all of this trauma. She will live with it and for the rest of her life. You know the story. And Lucas, as we learn, is in flight, man. He's a free man. He's in flight to the US or some other place, but he's from Iowa. We saw Liberians there a few months ago at his church. They're demonstrating that, hey, this guy nearly killed. We hope to hear from the U.S. embassy in Liberia or from the U.S. government, because that it was involving the citizen. What went wrong for them, as to whether they will aid in anything in this process. But hey, the court has decided. Well, he's a free man, and this is sad. But Bond County lawmaker, District Number 6, Mema Bridge Mensa, is calling for a retrial in the recent acquitted case of American missionary Lucas Riches on charges of attempted murder against his Liberian wife, Jessica Lord. Mensah, who chairs the House Committee on Gender, Children, and Social Protection, criticized the court decision, suggesting it reflects a troubling bias in favor of foreign nationals. I want to remember Bridge listing to all of this information before making this statement. I know it is traumatizing. Nobody wants to see the citizen or other foreigners, trample over the citizens. I know our court system is corrupt, but these things that are coming out, this information from judicial reporters and who follow the case closely, clearly suggests that the prosecutor, the government acted very sloppy in this case. Either it was intentional or it was just a foolishness on the part. And I know no prosecutor, no state security personnel will never go into such a case, not preserving evidence, and go into case and say this, we're going to try somebody for something for they say or she say. You can shoot somebody if you cannot produce that gun, you cannot produce the bullet, you cannot produce the witness or the testimony from the hospital. Because we saw what happened to Angel Tokpa case when that lady was allegedly raped by Hans William and Madi Peku. We saw the graph, we saw the stuff from her neck. The GFK people went there, they testified. So they saw in the bathroom. All of these, that's not just the first high-profile case. All of these cases have to provide evidence and witnesses. Even the recent case of Gloria Musu Scott that is still languishing. We saw all of these things were produced, pictures and other things from the house, the entry, the entire thing. So you need to produce these information to the court. So Mema Bridge is calling on a retrial. But I hope that Mema Bridge, a lawmaker, will also sit and look into the thing too as well. We heard Fonati Kova is also looking at if this judge can be looked at as well as to whether he received bribe, because the story came up, Liberia, the first person who run with the story, it just clear everybody's mind. Oh, George Chino received bribe, and it questioned, it put a black tint on the character of that judge, whether he's looking at the law, because justice is blind. Justice is blind. And once you go there, if you say this shirt is black, you have to prove to the jurors or the judge that this shirt is black. It is not gray. So you have to prove to them. So we hope that things will change around. Now let's move on to this next story. As you know, every week, Representative Yeke Koluba is in the news for the good reason and for the bad reason. He's advocating or he's insulting President Joseph Boakai that he seemed nothing he did to George Weah. People say his advocacy is arrogant. Others say his advocacy is right because he did it the previous government and he held the feet to the fire. Representative Yeke Koluba is not shying back from anything. He has been exposing the Joseph Boakai leadership to corruption. He has rained insult on the first family, including Vice President Jeremiah Cohn and some people who want to steal from Liberia. So Yeke Koluba is having a case with the government. He claimed that he was given a coupon as bribe at J-Mark Furniture. He went to get his furniture. They did not give him his furniture. He took the case to the police. The police been dodging or dangling or not having interest in the case because, according to Yeke Koluba, he claimed Joseph Human Boka, president of Liberia, hands were in it or are in it, and the police did not listen to his case. Days after he insulted the president, he was invited to the police, but the police stated that it was because he had earlier complained about J-Mark Furniture refusing to give his item from a coupon. But there were speculation that, oh, if Yeke Koruba go at the police station, they were going to arrest him because he held a press conference on that Sunday and he defied the police to arrest him. He said the police only called him to ascertain about his furniture story and nothing else, and he defied the police. So this week, Representative Kolba went to the hearing with the police, and he walked out of the police headquarters as usual. Take a listen.
You know, I wrote a formal complaint, and I was very specific to say J-Man. But the person that one go talk to other people, J-Man now even kind of distance themselves from their own side of the road. So they have asked me to bring a tape where the manager acknowledged that this is a signature. So I will be bringing it here tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll bring it. They play. I will come here. Nobody can arrest me. Joseph Bagan can arrest me and I will arrest me. I dare him to try it. Every statement I made in my press conference, I stand by it. If it was a threat, I send my threat.
Officially, none the police see interest in investigate your case.
Oh, they will see interest more. They will see interest more. They make you on the coupon they give me? No. But they don't have interest. They say they want power run a farm before they kill a boy. How you power run a farm? I brought somebody complaint you have not even sent for the person. Then you say, who gave you the check?
Are you seeing any big hands behind this case?
Look, the case will be handed up.
In what way?
It will be handed up. We need to know where I can receive my material.
Are you
We need to know where I can receive it.
Why is the case keep delaying on the callback?
Get involved. Who went to go sign for a matters? Let the person come and say, look, this coupon, the number coupon. Then the person has gave me a. You can send for the person.
Why you
but
think,
you have not called the person here. Then you want who gave it to me, who need to, and I know nobody
why you
need
think
to.
this
I
case,
know J-Mark.
why you think this case keep dragging on the callback?
They case do not drive. When they case drive, be a police before. I will tell this man a reckless man. I call it say, oh man.
You know, Yeke Kolba is no stranger to controversy in Liberia. But another thing he's raising is the issue of the police boss calling motorcyclists to ensure that they don't fly certain parts of Monrovia. And Yeke Kolba has been speaking on the situation there. He wants the situation to be discussed peacefully. Let's play you this teaser here. And as you see, motorcyclists sense the situation. They are calling on Judge Weah to come back. They said they are sorry because they were misled. Listen to them.
And they are parking the motor box in the middle of the road. We are sorry. We made mistakes. We are sorry. We made mistakes. We are sorry. We are Capitol building. We are sorry. We made mistakes. Motorcyclists across Monrovia have blocked the road.
That's motorcyclists there. So before we move on to that story, my colleague Weddy Williams just joined us. Let's look at we're talking about the Richard Lucas and Jessica Law case. We listened to all of the side of the story. We heard what went wrong with testimony. Judge Cheney ruled in favor of Lucas. Lucas Richards is now in route to the United States. He was spotted at the RIA there, checking and texting in flight. Weddy, welcome to the firing squad. I know you joined us late, but what's you've been reading social media, and you are advocate for women's rights, been promoting the stories of gender equality in Liberia. What the case made, you've been reading. What's your own reaction to the way the case was handled and the verdict?
Well, can you hear my mic?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so I think in Liberia we have a court system, and normally sometimes the courts do not play out the way that we like. But if the court rules and say this guy is not guilty, there is a court ruling, but then there is also the court of public opinion, which in this matter does not, at this point, doesn't matter because the court has already set him free and he's on his way back um, home to his family. But then there's loss on the other side, to the family of this girl. So it's a hard, it's a hard one.
But looking at what we gathered from our judicial reporter Jackie Dennis and Riches Watson, who sat in court, the evidence contradicts from Jessica herself. She did not tell the court that this Lucas, her husband, slashed her throat or even knock her. Even the police did not produce, or the lawyers did not produce the knife, the iron at the scene.
Yeah, so with the lack of all evidence and, the statement from the witness, she might have been, it might have been due to fear. And, that's why she couldn't probably talk about the situation.
But I'm sure her lawyer should have prepared her to
That's the thing. That's the thing. And, laid everything out on the table. And normally in Liberia, they don't have any kind of psychological, evaluation when as it relates to these things, because she went through a very traumatic situation. And we don't even know what plays out behind the scenes, with these families. What happened. We will never know what happened. And what shocks me is he leaving her behind? Because I think I learned they were married, right?
Yeah.
So is he leaving her behind in Liberia and just upping, and leaving, to the US? Or is he staying behind and say, okay, this thing is over. I think we can try to mend fences, and fix our relationship. Or he's just abandoning, the whole situation and say, you know what, I need to get out of here. So it's a whole lot of things that plays into it. But then this one thing was not a political trial, because normally in political, trials, we tend to see the government playing its hands, heavily. But I think in this situation, they just let the rule of law take its course. So he's a free man, and he got out of there as fast as he could.
But it beats the imagination to see that prosecutor. These are elementary things. Even when two of your Joshing case, if you say the man slap you, you won't see that mark on the face. If you see a person tore your clothes, you won't carry that torn up clothes, to the person who Joshing the case. So these are elementary.
But that's where education comes in. I see a lot of, these days, people graduate from law school so fast in Liberia. It's like you go to law school, you take a few years, you graduate, you become a lawyer right away. What kind of practice do they have? Do they intern at maybe a local law firm and say, work there for a number of years and see and read, reading a lot? Because a lot of reading, looking into other cases, that happened before, will prepare you for how you defend yourself, how you defend your clients. But in Liberia, like everything else, in Liberia, it's just it isn't done the right way. So then we find ourselves in situations like these.
And sometimes too, like you said, I mean, it beats my imagination, because that's the first thing. Me and you fight. I said when they tore my clothes,
Yeah,
I would take that shite, there.
the evidence gathering. You
Evidence gathering.
expect court to what happened, when the situation happened. And the thing in Liberia, the problem in Liberia, people always tamper with evidence before even the authorities get on the scene. That's why I say lack of education. They already go in there, tamper with the evidence. So once the authorities get there, the evidence has already been messed up.
Yeah. And they always tell you, keep silent, and the word you use will be used against you.
Exactly.
And
But
again,
do they
having a written statement
mm-hmm.
and go in court and say different, because once you write, it means you have digested the information. Now, I always ask
whatever you say, they're gonna use it as, you know, the defense is gonna use everything. And this man, he probably had a good lawyer because he could pay.
Yeah, but again, something she said in her statement, y'all leave this man, that's my husband. It showed no time of harm.
Yeah.
It showed, I mean, he did not harm her at that moment when the people came around. I was yelling, y'all leave the man, he's my husband. It means that there are a lot of things that went wrong. Like you said,
there's a lot of things that went on. Exactly. Sometimes it happens with the family, they do it hush hush, you know, and then the whole thing just play out in the public just for the show of it. So
Mema Bridge Mensa from Bond County is calling for a retrial. You think that's possible? Because she had gender and women protection.
Is the wife calling for a retrial?
Mema Bridge Mensa.
What is her issue in this case?
She's the head on gender.
She's a gender person, but if the person who brought this case says, I'm fine with the decision, it's you know, there's nothing you can do. But
no, I think it's a criminal case.
If the wife says, I disagree with this ruling, there is still remedy within the law. They can take an appeal.
That's why they said they took an appeal and hope that
they can do that. But you taking an appeal to the Supreme Court, the guy is already gone. How are you gonna extradite? Will you extradite this guy from the United States back to Liberia if the court overturns it? Then it has to be like, you know, bilateral negotiation between the United States government and the Liberian government, you know.
Yeah, so Lucas Rich is a free man. Jessica, we are impressed with you. We hope that God will guide you, because she feels that the case was not in her favor because the judge was bribed. Some people are saying that even the lawyers were also compromised because they knew some of these things. They like, we put blank eye on it, and we don't go into that. So if we don't go into these things, then we definitely would know that we'll be defeated.
So the only evidence was to show that her throat was slit. But who slit the throat? Where was she before her throat got slit? You know, who was she with? And the according to the American, he gave a whole different side of the story about what happened, about the whole situation. So it's a he says, she said, you know, we don't even know, you know, who's telling the truth. We're all sad, you know, that she got her throat slit, but you know, in a court of law, they don't deal with your emotions; they deal with the facts.
Facts, yeah.
Yeah.
Like what I said, if this shirt is black and I can convince that it's gray, and you can convince that the shirt is black, I will walk out with my black shirt and be waving it in for you.
We've seen a lot of these trials happen in Liberia. You remember the Angel Tokba case, you know, with Hans Williams. But for that case, there was overwhelming public opinion. You know, the courts were besieged, you know, the lawyers were threatened. So it was like, it was playing in the court, but at the same time, publicly, you know, there was so much public pressure, you know, in that case.
Okay, so much public pleasure. Let's go over to our next development here. Motorcyclists have complained that they were given a no-go zone of area in Montserrat by police boss. They marched to the capital to meet the advocate, Representative Yeke Kolwa and Frank Safoko from the CDC. Now, they believe that the move by the government, the Joseph Iman Baka government, is contradicting his plan to empower young people. Let's play the interaction there with them. As you saw, they were even singing before I brought you on, saying, "Sorry, the judge, we are."
I'm parking the motorbikes in the middle of the road. We are sorry. We made mistake. We are sorry. We made mistake. We are sorry. We are capital building. We are sorry. We made mistake.
There's some motorcyclists there. Let's play the interaction with them going to the traffic.
We don't have armed men guarding us. We are ordinary motorcycle who will go right back in the community. If they see us as they won't be involved with people back to the center of the motorcycle, our life will not be safe. So it is good. Say you say the no go to is a good thing that you are doing for us. If you are doing now, nobody can tell you where to stand. But we are the people the next people will go to the center, the police are going to imitate it. That we have no business informing the motorcycle to a press conference. And so he got angry. In fact, he went up as condition. He told us people that they got ready for the final man that told me they are feeling that told we are government. Told we are allowed to run all over. Not told we are government that told them back and forth. So, we are still trying to say that our right at the violence is 4 years to the 4 years. They are coming back to bring us. And so, we are assembled here. Having confronted our people from different backgrounds, there is a third gathering here at just for Raylan, our in, our football they probably have a negative perception of our people. They believe that motorcycles are violent people. We are assembled here because we believe that you are our direct representation. Wanda got two options. We respect him as our president, but Honorable Wanda got two options. Wanda either take the motorbike and get our door, or we also get also. We got no other alternative. That is why we are depending on to put food on the table of our family.
You listen to the spokesperson there from the motorcyclists. Some of the statement he said. The police, Gregory Coleman, told them. Gregory Coleman. Yeah, Gregory Coleman told him. Yeah, you know he was before that he came back and said, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Gregory Coleman told him that this is not Judge We. I think that Judge We are government. I think that if he made that statement, it was reckless on his part as a leader. If you have issues, those previous government did it. You just need to know how to channel your comments, your words.
Yeah,
there are certain things you say.
Yeah.
You don't just say, "Oh, this was not Joey government," or like chatting government here and stuff like that. So the motorcyclists believe that their rights to feed the family will be impinged upon. And what do you make of all of these stopping motorcyclists from flying certain places in Monrovia? But the dump trucks are still the container trucks are still driving through all Monrovia and killing people.
I think in Liberia, the issue of regulation is a problem. And then we have, sometimes people get in government and they're so zealous, they want to like implement some strategies to show, that they're working. But the problem we have in Liberia is like policy, reinforcement of, regulatory. I don't even know if we have like a standard, regulatory, body that regulates, traffic, where, that maps, like everything is mapped out, where bikes, what is a bike lane, where motorcycles should ply or where vehicles should ply, traffic lights, cameras and all that stuff. It's non-existent, in Liberia. So I think there were some times where the police used to have like a town hall, with the citizens. I think it should start from there. Probably have a town hall with these, motorcyclists, because if you know that there are so many of them in Liberia, and also they are not being properly regulated, and also the helmet issue, safety,
Yeah.
getting on a motorbike and not wearing a helmet should be fined. That's why I say policy and these regulatory, policies should be implemented. If you own a motorbike, you should own one helmet for yourself and one helmet for your passenger, you know, to make it safe. But it's so easy for someone to own a motorbike. In Liberia, you just go and buy the bike, put it on the road without even the required paperwork. It should not be that way.
Yeah.
And I think because people are used to so much lawlessness in Liberia, it's a lawless society.
Hmm.
So whenever they see, any kind of, change, they tend to resist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there needs to be like a public town hall with whoever is head of these motorcyclists, if they have a union or whatever, whoever is heading that, and with these people, and explain to them this will protect you and protect, the people, pedestrians, and um, also vehicles, you know. So I think they have to do it in a way where everyone sits at a table and then they explain it. But they squabble between them and between the police is not going to be the right way, because at the end of the day, the police is going to have the upper hand because they are the authority, and they enforce the law. So they could impound your motorbikes. I know they went to the legislature, but I think the legislature should not be in the business of stopping, you know, anything that has to do with public safety. Look at this here. Just by looking at this, where these people are on the motorbike, standing up on it, they're blocking the streets, they're impeding, they're causing traffic, you know. This is lawlessness. There should be a better way of us, how we express, our grievances. That's why I think in Liberia, people tend to resist, implementation, of the rule of law, and it shouldn't be that way. So we should try. What Gregory Coleman could do would be bringing these people together with whoever their leader is, and sort of like having a sit down, discussion with them.
Yes, so I think that was the sit down discussion, and after that, because he provided government own decision, and the motorcyclists when informing the members, I think probably we need to say, like you said, map up, and where they will be, and they will not be the difficulties. As you know, some people will turn this thing politically. It will always be politics. Like you said, the statement from Gregory Coleman saying this is not George Weah government. If Gregory said that, that was not the tone, the
I
time to
mean,
say
we should
it.
not be petty. And one thing I notice about this government, the pettiness is something that they carry with them everywhere.
To fight back.
It's like they won an election, but they don't think they really won an election. So they keep with this grudge against whoever supported their opponents. I think we should move past that.
Yeah.
And it's already 100 days, I think.
Yeah.
We already passed the 100 days into the administration. So we should be looking forward to delivering, not sidelining, people with different political opinions.
Let's listen to Representative Yeke Koluba when he spoke at
When you go to a meeting, the people depend on you to give them redress from the meeting. So by you informing your people, you are never wrong. Anytime you go to a meeting, inform your people, you are not wrong to do so. So if the director of police is saying he's wrong according to you, then I mean the director of police is wrong for calling you to a meeting. He call you as a head, and when you go to a meeting as a head, you must refer to your people and you represent. So you are never wrong. And I want to condemn that statement. And now what the director of police said, talking about President Dr. George Weah. President Dr. George Weah is not in the picture anymore. And the Bronco have decided that we will change President Dr. George Weah. We are calling on the President, Joseph Newman Parker, to do the right thing and stop pushing the blame on President Dr. George Weah. So all the trouble that we said, President Dr. George Weah called, we said we want to change. We are not going behind. We are going in front. So we want to appreciate you people. My police and my uncle Obofoko Wokosa. We want to appreciate you.
Learn to take the meetings to your friends so that they can be in the know of what is happening. But we stay with you. We are here representing you. This is why when we heard your voices, we decided to come outside. There is nothing that is as important as talking to you. Sitting in much under air condition, that is just a mere block. This is a real job. We are law-abiding citizens. We are here making sure that the right thing is done. Tomorrow we can assure the government of Liberia. As I speak to you now, we have about 10 representatives from different districts who have agreed to join the protest tomorrow. So the media is invited to the protest tomorrow. We will communicate our assembling point and where we'll be gathering in the end to present our petition. Which group is organizing the protest? Sorry? What's the name of the group? We endorse the protest from PROSA. There's a student informer that there will be protest. So we endorse the protest and we will definitely be part of the protest tomorrow. We're going to send our petition. So we say thank you for coming. You can go to relax yourself. Everything will be okay. Tomorrow the protest starts as early as 8 a.m. in the morning. And we'll be protesting up to 4 p.m. tomorrow. So you are welcome and we expect you to be on time. Thank you very much.
And we're still trying to see as to whether the protest is ongoing, but we've been seeing PROSA, a university-based group, is currently protesting in Monrovia. Hopefully we will get more details on that, because the protest where Foco was talking about was due April 19th today in Monrovia. But we're still trying to get more details. We've seen already there is a protest ongoing by the PROSA at the university base. They are staging a peaceful April 19th protest march in Monrovia. But we're still trying to get more details as to what the Liberian National Police and those other groups are saying concerning that. Liberia representatives inciting with the police and with the people that they are here with them, and they will always remain with them.
Yeah.
Just information. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs passport section, it was reported that it was flooded, but the public affairs for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Assistant Minister Siwagba and others have been clarifying that yes, the Ministry of Public Affairs session area was flooded as a result of a renovation, but now work has resumed today. The work is actively ongoing at the Ministry of Public Works. Flood engulfed the passport session, but they say it was due to a renovation. Now they have resumed normal working activities. So they apologize to all individuals for the situation there that is taking place. We've been hearing this big fight between Ibrahim Nkrumah and Hassan Fadiga over jokes issue in Liberia, position, changing of people. Should our new people in government be fighting, be at each other's throat? We heard that there was a series of meetings held in Liberia and cementing the friction between the pairs. We hope that people in government will work together ensure that Ibrahim Nkrumah and Hassan Fadiga will feel government officials, Kofi Woods, Madera Kopo, and Dr. Cannon there. And we've seen that yes, the good fight is now over. We hope that they will work together to ensure a peaceful Liberia and ensure that jokes are eradicated from Liberia. We're hearing that President Joseph Boakai is currently having a meeting at RIA, the Rivers International Airport. He's looking at all of these issues, how best we can help secure our area there when it comes to our airport and seaport. So Joseph Boakai is currently at the RIA, and he's having a meeting with students there. Let's see if we can take few comments from the PROSA. So we'll be following very in few moments. We'll play you a few excerpts from PROSA press conference. They are currently having a protest in Monrovia. So the press conference, let's see if we can give you a gist of that. What do you make of protests in Liberia, student-based group, looking at all of the things with the Joseph Boakai leadership? Is this a good sign for less than 100 days protests all across Liberia?
Yeah, I mean, protest was in the first week. People started protesting. So, I mean, protest is an essential, element of democracy. I think when people are allowed to express themselves freely, it is good. It is good for democracy. Once, they are not obstructing any, rule, they're not being violent, and they're peacefully protesting, that is good for the society. It means that people are aware of what is happening around them, and they are able to hold their government accountable.
Okay, let's play a break. When we come back, we'll look at take a few comments from the protests and what's going on in Liberia.
And I'm parking the motor box in the middle of the room. We are sorry. We are sorry. We made mistakes. We are sorry. We are Capitol building. We made mistakes. Motorcyclists across Monrovia. I blocked the road. Day in Minnesota, for some reason we're having a great winter. The weather is so super today. And I'm in the city of Crystal at the Grateful Family African Market. And this establishment is owned by my own friend and brother, Cyrus McGee. We go way back as media colleagues, the buddy, and the rest. But I'm here to support this establishment. It's a small business, but it's growing and it's going to grow. And if you live in the city of Crystal, you're down Bloslick Road, you in Brooklyn Center, you in New Hope, you in Maple Grove. This is a one-stop shop for you for African deli, goose, and merchandise and cooking materials. You can just walk in here and Cyrus will be here to serve you. You can get all your African stuff to cook your potato green, cassava leaf. I love pan butter, so I'm going to get some pan butter stuff. So yeah, let's support our own, man. Let's promote our own. We can do it better for each other than ourselves. So let's do it. It's Cyrus Maggie here and the Grateful.
Okay, let's see if we can get you some information here from the ongoing protest at PROSA. They are currently having a protest in Monrovia. But what are they protesting? A few things we'll be hearing from the spokesperson. They've been reading a petition in Liberia.
Legally dismiss over 40,000 civil servants. Point out the government of Liberia frequent disregard of the rule of law. Comrades and combiers, Star Wars and egalitarian nationalists, enthusiasts of social justice and academic freedom, intellectuals and accomplished egalitarians, ideological defenders of the massive struggle and well-wishers, the youth and student community, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We extend to you our warmest revolutionary greetings from the tripartite sections of Africa's biggest repository of genuine consciousness and political enlightenment, the irresistible and insurmountable avant-garde progressive students at Liberia and State universities. So, long live! Long live! Long live! Whereas the avant-garde party uses this wavelength to strongly condemn the action by President Joseph Boakai to bribe members of the legislature for the sinister purpose of removing the current Speaker of the House of Representatives.
So that press conference is currently ongoing. I was just able to cut that clip. There's a lot of issues raised. They're raising a lot of issues currently in their press conference there. The pro-side, the pro-democratic group from the university student body there, they are advocating this big story. Senators are investigating Ministry of Public Works over $21 million road contract. Wade Williams, the senator, American and other people raised the issue. Some of the bogus contracts were awarded to some companies without any due process. This is the listing. This is the listing of some of the companies. You see, Chico, that's another company that was awarded a contract. I'm trying to get that and read that for our viewers. So you see, for that, they are calling on the government to investigate this situation. We see SF. Ventureman to Fuya Road, we see Chico, we see all of these companies, but they are saying that most of these contract awarded are bogus. They did not go through the rightful process, and they want investigation. That's a big story there. We hope that American and other guys who are pushing forth will ensure that our money, $21 million in bogus contract are given to this company, and the places they're supposed to fix, we hope that they will do that. From the Senate, the Liberian Senate, they are raising such an issue, smelling the sense of corruption. You know, American and other people being in government, they know all of the loopholes, so they want to tighten all of these loopholes. $21 million given to companies without following the due process. Where are we heading?
And that was done during the past administration?
I mean, yeah, it's current. It's current.
The current administration?
Past, it passed enter into current. So some money were given to them, and now they want to, because it's a continuation process, so they want to probe that.
Oh, sweat through. Yeah, I mean, who are they going to hold accountable now? Who's going to talk to them? The
Ministry of Public Works will be being called in to absentee and to verify, because something called performance, right? If I give you money and you say you did this roof, Ventureman to Foya, right? And I give you $1 million, we want to see the level of work done thus far. So they want to go back and review all of these things, because some of the rules, some of the contracts, the way they were giving these contracts on a previous government were not in accordance with the PPCC. Government is continuation. $21 million we're talking about. Is this the right step for Liberia?
In the write-up, I do see recent contract. So the Senate, because the current Minister of Public Works cannot answer for what was done with the past administration. That's a General Auditing Commission question. That is not a question for the current Minister of Public Works, because he wasn't Minister of Public Works in 2023. So if it is the current minister, because what I'm seeing from that write-up, it says recent. So within the last 100 days, these are the contracts, that they've awarded, then for sure he should appear before, the legislature and answer, to these questions. Look at these things. In the case of contract for procurement of goods, 500 million?
No.
500,000. 500,000 in the case of contract for procurement of services, 200,000 in the case of contract for the procurement of works, 1 million.
Yeah, so these are some of the companies.
That's like about 1.7 million we're talking about here.
Yeah, if you look at the names of the contractors, the location, and the contract pricing, you see Chico, Sarah, the Ventureman Road, TD Median, SSFC, Vonjaman to Fuya. You look at Buchanan to ITI, and these are Sweju to Canwick, and these are all the areas you're talking about.
Okay,
And
so
we hope that they will institute the best
yeah,
means to
so
help
so
save
was there?
Liberia.
Did these companies have the contract before? Is it like a contract that this government is inheriting and these people had already been awarded this contract, but this minister is just following through on what the past
So yeah,
administration
that's why
did?
that's why they want to verify. So whether these, because sometimes it is
Because it is too quick. It
that's
is
why they want to
it is
know.
it is too quick to award, contracts like these without the proper, process in place, because we want to know who bid it. If it's something new, you know, who were the people bidding on these contracts? Was it open, to bidding, or was it just, awarded, just given to these people? So this is kind of troubling, and I want to see how far, Senator Amara Kone and others, because they're the lone voice. I think Kone now is one of the strongest voice in that legislature, who's pushing for some transparency in that legislature, because we all know that the legislature has been a problem, with governance and transparency for many years. So we've seen former Minister Kone, and now, Senator, Kone has been pushing, his colleagues on this issue of transparency, and he's been very vocal about it.
And he's not being loved now.
Yeah, he's been very vocal, and we need more voices like those. We don't need this hush hush, situation,
Booty booty.
yeah, in the legislature. And he comes with a lot of knowledge of government and all these things, so he knows what questions to ask, because he's been there before. He was a minister. He's like, he handled all these things, so he knows exactly. He comes with it from an expert, perspective, so he's able to ask all these questions. So I'm glad that there's someone in there who says, look, this thing smells,
I know all the loopholes.
yeah, we need to call you guys in and make sure, we are asking you the right question. So I think I want to commend, the senator, the, rookie senator he might be, but he's been in politics for a long time, and he's pushing for these issues. So that is good. It is good for Liberia. It is also good for the legislature, because based on what track record they've had over the years, they just let whatever slide. They just, the president will come and put money, on the table, and then, that's it. They just sign whatever is before them. So we are happy
Business as usual.
yeah, we're happy that this is not business as usual, and there's someone in the legislature who's saying, look, we cannot continue to do this.
Yes, because the plenary of the Liberian Senate has instructed their Committee on Judiciary, Public Works, and Public Accounts and Audit to investigate the Public Works Ministry for awarding over $21 US dollars worth of contracts to several contractors without legislative approval. From Page Africa is reporting. The decision of the plenary on Thursday, April 18, followed a joint communication from Senator Nathaniel McGill, Abraham DeLong, Weston Garfindy, and Simeon Tita of Maigibi, Montserrat, Grand Bassa, and Grand Cape counties, respectively. In their communication, the full lawmaker said that the Ministry of Public Works awarded contracts valued US $21 million to some contractors for the rehabilitation and construction of roads across Liberia. They indicated that the contract analysts, including but not limited to Chico, from Salala to Vonjima, an amount of 3 million. SSF from Vonjima to Fuya, 1 point some more million dollars. Uh, the rest were other companies from Zweju and other areas to Kawikan. So they won an investigation from that committee. So that's some of the things you've been saying here. Accountability matters in all that we do.
Yeah.
Accountability. People must be involved. How can you award contract? Lawmakers don't know. They also do. They can say, "Oh, Chico come and face role in my community. How they got a contract? Maybe
Yeah.
they had their own because previous legislature most of them had their own short small contracting firms and stuff like that. Even we heard that the former public works minister Husma had his own contracting firm, and some of the contracts were awarded to. You fix your own. I'm there. I know how the contract will be. I'm public works minister. Your husband get another contracting firm. I think he won as representative in Babulu County. Yeah, just forgetting his name. Collins. Yeah, he won.
It's
Yeah,
just a corruption in Liberia.
corruption.
It's unending. It's a complete conflict of interest.
Yeah, conflict of interest.
Clear cut.
I'm there and I know all the loopholes. I'm like, okay, I'm the minister of information. Oh, they come open. I said, where they can open your PR.
And give contract, to your family members. That's nepotism,
And it cannot be accepted in our current society. We are hearing that some EPA officers are behind bars after the protest. They were dismissed because of several irregularities. And some were even dismissed because they claim that they are loyal to the government of George Weah. As you know, the EPA has been all in the news from the time an intruder entered with the perimeter of Joseph Imam Boka. As you see, since then, the EPA have been all in the news since the intruder entered the president thing.
It's really sad that because the EPS is the same as the Secret Service, right?
Yes, in America.
There's someone at my door.
Yes. So as we were speaking, this is the So we are hearing that some of them has been arrested because they were protesting yesterday in Monrovia, and they are currently being investigated. We hope that this is not political and it will be done in accordance with what went wrong. We heard that some terroristic threats, as you know, these are well-trained security apparatus, and as well as some of them are really members of the EPS. That's why the investigation we go into verifying. But we see that, hey, the EPS will be investigated because there were some protests, and they hope that those guys who have been protesting don't have no hidden agenda. And you know that they are saying that CMG, the new EPS boss, is after those who were protecting or close loyal to George Weah. But EPS should not be into political affairs. They are just presidential or state security who protects anyone, and regardless of who comes in, who goes. So I've been very observant. I've been watching from Jeremiah Cohn. I still see some of the protocol and EPS officers. Not all of them. One or two faces. I still see the Mooney and other guys around Jeremiah Cohn that was near Joa Hawatida. But within the presidential cycle,
it's always a fight.
It's always a fight. I see some new faces.
It's the Secret Service of Liberia, the EPS. I think that should be a professional body, void of allegiance to anyone. And these people are security minded. They should be able to freely serve, the president. And it should be an institution. We shouldn't have members. Okay, a president takes over and then we train new corps of Secret Service agents or EPS agents. I think EPS agents, should be trained to serve, the presidency void of who their allegiance is with. And during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, administration, there was a lot of reformation done, with with the EPS, under Sirleaf, and they had their issues, but in terms of protecting the presidency, they had their lapses, but it was a new breed of officers, that they had, after the war and into the first and second term of the Sirleaf administration. So they basically had people that had been, trained up to the Weir administration, now up to, the Joe Barker administration. So I think we should have a culture of, training people to protect the presidency based on, loyalty to the state, not to the individual that occupies that office.
I mean, yeah, it's an internal fight.
Yeah, until we can do that, we'll always see these things happening. We'll always see these things.
And the state spent millions of dollars training these guys. I know when the Americans were protecting Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, when the guys were on training, some of them went to different countries, and from Egypt to the US. I know when we came, some of them who were currently on training, when I traveled to the US before, they came around and the training was tough. Those who were in Nigeria, there were a lot of training they went through, firearm protection, VIP, security. So you spend money when it comes now because it's political. Like, oh, this person was so close. Then you try to.
That's the thing with Liberia, the military, the Secret Service, what we call the EPS. It's always been a political thing. Who's loyal to who, and NSA, it's always been a political thing. Who's loyal to who? It shouldn't be that way. We cannot build institutions like this. We cannot build institutions if every time we have a new leadership, we bring new people, and then we throw out the experts. Every time we have a new leadership, we bring new officers, and then we throw the experts out. So we should find a way in Liberia to keep our talents, to keep these security people, professionals in place. And number one should be loyalty to the state, not loyalty to the president or whoever occupies that seat. And until we can do that, we will continue to change people and bring in new people. And then we have to retrain them, spending money that we do not have.
Liberia, the same thing happened with the General Auditing Commission. When John Molu took over, he sent most of the guys to Kenya, to get a master in forensic audit. When it came, some of them were kicked out and they signed contract to work.
Yes. And then new people without experience were brought in. It keeps happening. Why do we keep doing the same thing in Liberia over and over?
I think where I know I work in government, that's where government, the brain drain, they are losing a lot of things, right? So they put money into you, they train you. When this person can train you, when you go, your salary don't commensurate with your level of education. And people who are political appointees, when they come into this ministry, they try to marginalize those people who were there because they feel like they have direct link to the presidency. I'm one example. The national broadcaster spent thousands of dollars training me from London to China to Japan to Kenya. When political people came in under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government, they start to marginalize who the professional, giving you $100 US, what it makes $2,000-3,000, bringing the girlfriends and boyfriends and relatives
Yeah.
who makes $300-400 US. You
With
have
no
a
expertise.
USD, you have a degree in communication, you have international certificate, but yet make $100. How will you retain such a person? The same thing happened with the GSC. And so when these things happen, Liberia will continue. And once we see people who are there, you see your opportunity, you know your worth, you're not going to remain there. So there should be a contract. Serving the national broadcaster for 10 years was never something easy. And you want to remain there, you want to keep serving the national broadcaster. I remember the Nigeria, couple of young students, engineering students, the government sent them out with a contract that you have to come back and work at set 2 or 3 years for the country. If we can keep doing that, so I told one of the ministers, one of the editing journalists, I said, you see, you're only sending 30%. The people get a group of 10, and they were going in petroleum engineering. They were going in different things. And one of the guys in our group, he was going to do what? A political science in the US. Like, you can't why would government waste money to see the missed priority?
For policy making.
And you can't do
what we're lacking in Liberia. Policy.
I'm like, yeah, people going into computer science, people going into engineering, mining engineering, geology, different technical field, neurosurgeons, young students. How can we invest into them? And all the people who are making headways, but when we do put it into politics. I was reading Keita, one of the advocates in Liberia, who was one Keita. He was in West Point there with Shaki Kamara.
The kid.
Yeah, the kid. He's now currently in the US. I was impressed with. I said, these are people you got to elevate them, make them go back to school, and raise their stand up. But we've seen that Yeke Koluba, Foko, and others are currently parading Monrovia, Liberia. I think that we don't know what's happening with what's going on in Liberia. I see they play the you heard somebody trash talked. You see that when they started pumping George Weah when he started playing for it, like, oh no, this ball will be the next president. He will change. Now people say, "Yeah, you be the next president."
Hell no. We don't want any of that.
Hell no. You see now Liberia, they made him in lawmaker. They made his spouse for 2029, and you know. What do you mean, hell no?
Any of that in Liberia. Crazy in the higher seat of government? No way.
So Samuel Doe, who was not educated,
he belongs in that legislature. Let him just stay where he is. Make noise all day, insult the presidency, and do whatever.
Now you have no president to insult. He's the president. He's the president.
Yeah. And then he will insult you when you say oh, I remember they used to tell this story of this president in Sierra Leone, the old man Shaki, and then they will say that, we don't have rice, look, and then they will say Shaki big nose. He said that's why you guys will keep standing online for a bag of rice. So that's the kind of president we will have. He will insult, you know. He will insult whenever you say, this administration is not doing good, he will insult everyone.
I mean, all our presidents to do insult. Eddie Johnson said he insulted people. She said, hey, they need to go to the psychiatrist.
He did it in a refined way.
What's it? You guys love refined. Somebody steal, say embezzle.
They say embezzle? Okay, yeah, that's refined.
Just about a rule. Joe, we had a rule like, oh no, but if in a rule, he said the name embezzle. Then he say you can call over. Should I not refined? He said
sorry.
When Eddie say you go check the psychiatrist, those who feel that they didn't go check the psychiatrist.
Yeah. Woo. Having a Yaka qualified presidency, imagine that sitting with international these international people and not knowing how to behave yourself, because you need these people to to help you, to make your government run. How are you gonna sit at a table with them, with this kind of attitude that he has?
We've seen rebel leaders leading other countries. We saw Samuel Doe. He could not speak good English. He was there
I mean, it's
leading
not
other
about the
people.
English, it's about the way you behave. This guy is off the chains. He speak good. If he wants, he can speak good English. But the way he behaves, man, he's like a gangster walking the streets.
But he's currently doing that. I think that it's a protest with the April 19th protest. I think they won't call the attention of the government on the motorcyclists. So as to say, President Joseph Boakai meets with RIA management, and now we're getting reports. We're still talking about this division among the Abraham Nkrumah and his deputy. We're getting reports that Abraham Nkrumah is currently at the Drugs Enforcement Board. Abraham Nkrumah is currently defending his budget, his ministry budget of 10 million US dollars, and he's currently there alone. He was observed there alone, and when they raised the issue, why are you here representing your entity alone?
Yeah, because they have not squashed anything. Because this morning I just saw a post from A.B. Kromah. I think he took that post down. He was like, what I read was from what I read from him was, the adult is always the adult in the room, or something like that. So he's basically saying, he's the more mature of these two.
The Fadiga and him and the two deputies.
Between him and Fadiga, he's the more mature person.
Yeah, and Fadiga also wrote a few hours ago, fostering a harmonious working environment is crucial for success.
Yeah, I think A.B. Kromah, in Liberia, they say you have these guys who've been holding the fort for years. These are the guys on the ground in Liberia. They know all the nook and cranny. They know everywhere. They know everything that's happening in Liberia. They've been there since the war ended in 2005. They've been on the ground. You have this guy, Fadiga, based on, talking on Facebook, criticizing the WIA administration and defending Joe Boakai. He has no experience on the ground in Liberia. He might have some security experience somewhere else in the world, but when it comes to Liberia,
so what is different if you if you know about drugs?
Yeah,
why is different about Liberia? It's a unique thing
because Liberia is a completely different thing we're talking about. The demographic is different. The people you're dealing with is different. The people, the situation is completely different. How you go about it is completely different. So I think that's where the issue is with A.B. Kromah. He definitely has been there. He's done it, even though sometimes he can be ruthless. Most of the times he can be ruthless, So
the man can take in something or taking something. He's doing drug tests.
Exactly. I knew it was gonna be a Milton TJ, Joe Mobile situation here. Yeah, exactly. So if anyone is surprised, I am not surprised that these two are going at it, because these two, they're both, onto showmanship, both of them. So they cannot get along. And what's gonna end up happening is the president will at some point have to make a decision, of who to get rid of, and then it will breed some kind of bad blood, like it did, with the Joe Mobile situation. Remember?
Yeah.
And they were in a public fist fight. mobile and
Nathan
water
said,
budget. So that's the situation we have here on our hands.
who's who?
Yeah,
You
who's
know who am I?
boy, who's the big shot, here.
So we are hearing that he went to budget hearing for his deputy, and when asked why, he said he said he was just told this morning that he had to go for budget hearing. He said Representative Judy of Fatima were asked him why the two deputies were not present at this major hearing. He replied by
Because they're
saying,
not even speaking to each other.
yeah, he replied by saying he was informed this morning of the budget hearing and had to make his way directly from his house to the capital. So
Yeah,
imagine
they're not on
communication,
terms.
budget hearing. I mean,
Even if you're making your way from your house to the budget hearing, there's a mobile phone. You can say, hey, Paddy,
the people that
get on the car. We have a meeting with the legislature. You need to get.
are you guys not speaking?
Yeah.
No scratch card to call.
Exactly. They're probably not speaking to each other. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what he said. His appearance speaks to an internal fight and within the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency.
Is.
$10 million. You need, because the thing is, when people see you're united, they will ask the deputy because he's for operation, right? You just the administrative head.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of other things they would love to ask. So if you guys go, I know most of the guys they help go with the deputies. Though sometimes the deputies don't talk, but it shows that unity.
And these guys, they hear that there's gravy in government. Most of these guys who leave here and go to Liberia, that's all it's about. They hear there's gravy there in the Liberian working as a public official in Liberia, so they go for it. It's not as though they leave their life behind and they want to contribute to Liberia so much. It's what Liberia has to offer them in terms of what they are going to get, out of their service that they're rendering, to the government.
I asked somebody one time, and I'm like, you have all of this money. Why are you still seeking? You want to be in government, you want to be in the House of Representatives, you want to be in the senator. They said because once you are out, you do not have that contact, you do not rub shoulders. When you're there, there are a lot of opportunities. You get some influence. There's so many influence. They got good influence and bad influence. So influence can be used both ways. So you need to be at that table to make that decision. You don't want to be on the menu. You want to be at that table. So they will do everything possible. Why you think Prince Johnson? Why you think all the other guys, some of Yaya Neiman, why you think Joseph Boga is still fighting to be, he was still fighting to become president. He still want to be in the politics. It is because they want to see that power. That's something somebody said to me in trauma counseling, like you saw when George Weah left power, he started to regret and started to put the blame on other people because he was in that stage of bargaining. Like, what? It was because of you that did this. And he said, because of you guys, right? Who were ministers, did not go to your community. And this happened. Then you start to realize, oh, power is sweet, right? You got imagine 6 years. You can buy your own plane ticket. You can pay your own gas, your security.
On there riding first class every time he gets on an airplane.
And something we need to look into already. You have not seen that. Have you seen Mo Ali and the other lady Kura access declaration?
They have nothing to do. Those people are poor.
Fun.
Those people are poor. They have nothing.
Fun. I thought to bring that.
Nathan, give these people the next 3 years. You see, the next 6 years when they declare their asset, it will be really, really good looking. The paper will have the bank will have money in it. Right now, they have nothing.
But even there, I'm trying to upload that before I talk. You'll be shocked to. Let me just upload this from Mo Ali. I saw his assets declaration. Like he said, can we verify from the banks all of these transactions, how the money came in, what went wrong? Nothing was said, and you'll be shocked. to see on assets declaration, lot of scratches.
Yeah.
A lot of them. It's like, hey, you just
You just
adding something. I'm trying to upload that picture so you can see for yourself. This is it. These are the two pictures from Mo Ali. He just released his assets. Look at what Mo did. Okay, you see here, Muhammad Ali, Perry Draft, Pinswell Academy. His phone number 077-077-542845 or 0886-542845. March 14, 2024. Delivered by self. He said deliver this thing. Now look at this. Look at this. From you see the LACC is up. Look at this. The LACC says, see the figure how he scratched and signed. He said he had 100 and I think 12,000.
First he said US dollar, then he came and scratched it off. And
No, the US dollar for he said he had 112,200 and some more dollars in his
got that
account.
money from exactly where I don't know of his employer before.
Then later he said he had $85,923.14 in his account. See his Liberian dollars, 380,000 Liberian dollars in his account.
Man,
Mo Ali. And on the official document,
he just lied on the document. Something he should be held, to account for. Because this document right here, and it's signed and sealed.
Yeah.
So he just told a lie. So we need to follow the money. That's why every time I say, let us follow the money. These people are writing all, these figures on the
where is his assets? Only the money we see.
To show how he got 85,923.14, because remember, these people were campaigning that they were suffering in Liberia. This bank account does not look like a bank account of someone who was suffering.
Even for suffering means he got it overnight because he just.
So where he got this money from exactly? He declared his asset 3/4/2024. So he's only been in office for. He's been in office for about 3 months, and then he has this amount in his bank account. So we need to follow the money to see how Mo Ali got that. Why didn't he declare his asset on January 20th? He waited until March to declare his asset. And then we have these people stamping it and verifying these things without asking the man to bring maybe about 5 months of his bank statement so they can go deep into it and see what this guy has been doing.
How did the money enter? Now let's show you another. This asset declaration is pure fun. Let's show you another crowd. Let's show you how on the assets declaration. Let me upload it here for you quick. You see, and you'll be sick to your stomach, man. What's going on? The asset declaration is a fun, no details. A crowd took about New Georgia, Nigeria shop, Ghana'sville. Her phone number is 0886 285-480, April 17. Date of declaration. April 17, 1819. So that was 2 days ago. Yeah, so see what she said for her. Okay, let me try to move
my goodness.
Let me try to move this banner.
Oh my God. This is a public official's asset.
Net worth. No, but see her net worth. See her net worth.
But wait. So she said NA. So that's
no liability. She said she has no liability.
So basically she has no money on this form, but then she comes out with a figure
net worth
on the last line. US 119,781, and you have these people, certifying this document without any question. This should be thrown out right away. The GSC, is it LSCC should be ashamed of itself for certifying a document like this.
Yep, other assets. I mean,
So
like
basically, if net worth should be 0 right here, because we don't see anything that this lady owns.
yeah, other assets, nothing. Other assets, nothing. She don't have no other
She has
assets. So
nothing.
net worth,
She will
but
come
she
and put
claims her net worth is $421,000
$221,000
US
off
dollars. So
million.
what constitutes people net worth? Your properties you do have, your businesses, and other thing, it do help to constitute your stuff. No liability, no loan, no nothing.
Ridiculous.
Yes, we still see more assets declaration, but that's the two.
Crazy that the LSCC will not question this lady and will certify a document like this. So how many people they've certified like this?
They just present what they get to present as well as they do investigation.
The woman say NA, which means not applicable. But then on the last line, you have $400,000. How can you explain that?
Her net worth.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, how can you explain this?
Yeah, because assets. Your assets represent your value. So I have a house, right, of $200 and some $1,000. That's my assets, right? So if I have my net worth, I have a business. I can say it's about 500,000.
But you don't explain anything here. You just cash on hand. Maybe cash on hand will be $500,000. But you have to show us how you got this. Did you win the lottery overnight?
But even if you won it, you should have put in all of your.
Say, oh, I won the lottery last night.
But I mean, so yeah, you say your assets, you have no assets. But after few, so we're keeping that. So if you come back, maybe I know probably her father gave her some money in the bank, but she should have stated it, right? Because her father was is a permanent figure from the regime. So what's going on?
Nobody got that kind of money. Like
What's going on? Because for assets declaration, everything you have to state it, right? Yeah, you into a business, your share.
This person, I think, should be fired right away.
Right.
Behavior.
Yep.
This is criminal behavior. Yes. This is criminal behavior, and the GSC will certify something like this.
like Musa, you saw Musa being I mean, it's just when you look into it, it's just fun that people are doing.
They have no respect for the rule of law. That is what it is.
I mean, it's integrity. Nobody to check them to know as to whether the information they provide is truth, and they just go about playing market.
For example, you cannot just. This is cooking the books. This is incriminating document right here that could lead her to go to jail.
But who would take her to jail when she's close to the power that be? Who dare?
Because the IRS. This is like if you send a document like this to the IRS, that's clear jail right there. Because what they're gonna ask you, we need bank statements to prove all this stuff that you said, and we need to know where the money is coming from.
So I was even you see more. So even if you did the document April, you did the document right on March 14. So are you telling me how much money did you take out
that declaration document?
Yeah, the term on the 14. So you see that he scratched out. So you have 12,000. So in that same moment, you took out almost $50,000 right there from your account.
Yeah, and then you out like this
and it's not even a slack, it's a big margin. So why would you do that and scratch it out? So either did that you try to do what is that money laundering you did? So want to know how that figure change.
Corruption here, clear-cut corruption.
You want to know how the figure changed overnight? Just leaving from 112,000 112,000. I'm trying to do the math quick. Two to three minus 85,000 9 2 3. You got $26,000 US dollars vanish from your account. If you want to know where did it go, how did you subtract that quick? $26,000 US dollars quick. Where did it go? How?
And on the same paper that he submitted to the LACC.
When scratch, he said, "Oh no, I forget."
Certify that document.
Liberia. Well, that's it. This is Liberia. We pray that I would think, like you said, we don't have the system, in place. Nobody to check on who. And we're hearing that all of the senators who went for confirmation hearing, 12 of them were confirmed by the Liberian Senate. The dismays of Brain Gideons who were protesting the appointment of Ellis Grant as superintendent prior to his confirmation. Citizens stormed the Capitol building.
There's a company operating Grain Gideon. Ellis Grant is a criminal. Nobody wants to work with it. These are the ticket.
So they were protesting. That's the wrong video import. They were protesting. That's the right video, but it was not the edited version. They were protesting the appointment of Ellis Grant, but we're hearing that the senators have confirmed all 12 superintendents appointed by Joseph Yvonne Boyka from Lofa County, the Massaquoi appointed to Bond County, Bond County, Bombing County, all of them were appointed. They appeared for confirmation hearing, and some of the issues raised were what will be the major priority when they resume leadership. They spoke about corruption, unity among the caucus, like a Bond County superintendent. That was one of the things she raised. Nima County superintendent also raised that issue. Mozzarella County superintendent also spoke about development and unity among the caucus. And the issue of the county development fund was raised. So now the government is still forming. And we've heard that President Boyka made recent appointments recently, putting in some other people in his government. A lot of superintendents, develop superintendents and other people in different counties, and clan chiefs and other district superintendents were also appointed. So the government is still forming, and we are hearing that the lady who died, Getchu Lami, her husband, was also appointed to the chief financial role in Mozzarella County. So more appointments are still being carried out in government. What's your parting statement as you wrap down all of the protests, the case of Jessica, the appointment, the asset declaration?
What my attention now is this asset declaration. Someone needs to do something about this.
That's what we need a press to investigate.
Yeah. This cannot happen. Nathan, you need to send KMTV to the offices of these two individuals and ask them to explain what is on this paper. And
but why is that cannot be explained?
No, we need to ask them questions.
Oh, okay.
We need to ask them because this is fraud. Just looking at it from a layman's perspective, not even from the perspective of an accountant.
Or tax expert.
Yeah, maybe we can take it to an accountant and say, can you please explain to me what this is? I don't think the accountant will even be able to explain it. So this is grounds for dismissal. And the LACC should be ashamed of itself for affixing a stamp on those two documents. It shows that they are not transparent and accountable, They have no integrity. Yeah.
But I think they just declare the assets. I think that's the first thing. So it's like you incriminate yourself, you give me now.
Exactly.
Then I need to start to investigate to know, because you have to provide all of these documents, bank statement. How did you get $400,000 worth? I want to know. But you say assets. No. So do you have physical cash just on your bed,
laying somewhere, and you don't have a bank account to show for that.
$400 some more $1,000. That's why you off. What is it? Is it in jewelries?
Exactly.
So want to know if you have it, and because people can say it, this is what I worth. Even if you're doing divorce, right? They ask you all of your assets and liability. If you say you have no
She
liability,
has no liability, no asset. So, but then she comes.
but then you got worth.
It's net worth of 400K.
Like there's the mobile Joe Sylvester mobile from Bone County. They say I got nothing. Sylvester Sagbody, I got nothing. Only my car, my phone, I got nothing.
And then few years later, you see.
Say you come from my chin, I got nothing. So this government will hold that the Joseph Human Broadcast leadership will do their utmost best. We know they are trying, but they need to try harder because the Liberian people, something all government comes on a promise. Charles Taylor came, the what his name, Eddie Jones Eddie came, right? You have these spectators in your own economy. George Weah came, Joseph Boga came on changing the system. Now it's turning the other way around. We hope that our people, the lives of our people, right, the issue of jobs, will be created. We heard that we are hearing that people from the Unity Party, the youth wing, they are out there advocating, they are angry because they are not, are being included in the government. They are not being provided other opportunities. They say the state where the Luther Tape is under intense pressure, and the other leaders to representatives who also called on these guys to support the Joseph Ivan Boga under intense pressure. And you see Yeke Kolba is on the defensive. He's now parading Monrovia with Frank Kofa. He's in opposition, calling on the government of Joseph Ivan Boga to ensure that the welfare of Liberians are provided. Yeke is now a friend of the CDC. He's a friend of the opposition. He's in the throat of George Weah. Unlikely also to the not the EFF, the PROSA, a pro-democratic group from the student movement. They are holding a press conference calling on the Joseph Iman Boga to do the utmost things to investigate corrupt people and ensure that the welfare of Liberians are upheld. You know the story with the B Mountain. We've been hearing that foundings, they have come out with some of the foundings on the B Mountain thing and calling on the company to do the best mode thing and ensure that the people there, the welfare, are protected. And the EPS they are still fighting all of this situation. We're hearing this report here just coming in, the Liberia National Police. I'm trying to pull out that. The Liberia National Police just came over a statement. We heard that a police officer also killed somebody in the 72nd community. And that release was sent out. I'm trying to pull it out there. And it is very sad that our lawmakers will do with, I mean, our law, our those who controlling the law will ensure that. So we're saying in another development, the Liberia National Police has this robe full of its officers and are being investigated through the Professional Standard Division, PSD, for the alleged involvement in the homicide incident in the 72nd community, Painesville, during the early morning hours of April 17, 2024. The decision of the LNP administration stems from claims emanating from family sources that the arresting officers of suspect James Boyman used excessive force on their deceased family member, Austin Yagbawolo, uncle of the suspect, which subsequently resulted into his death. The investigation seeks to establish facts surrounding the death of the deceased victim with appropriate actions taken where necessary by the administration of the Liberia National Police. Just the same thing as George Floyd. This is the George Floyd situation in Liberia. Police killing people when going to make arrest.
Yeah. So those police officers should be held to account.
Excessive force.
Yeah.
Like we saw one time in Bone County, I saw some of the court officers went to do arrest and somebody was resisting. And so it was a journalist. They beat on that. I'm like, why will you be so cruel?
They're always violent. They're always
why will you be so cruel?
I don't know. It's their training and what they get from the academy. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's why you have your taser, you have something to make the person weaker, right? To overpower them, but it's not hitting and like Georgia, we saw what happened in the US, and you see what's going on. Can that punitive damages and psychological damage be given back to the community?
Nigerians will get tired of that one day. Police officers, they need to, they need to stop this hard, hand-handed, way of arresting people, which results into a loss of life. That's a human right issue right there, and it shows that
Yeah.
ordinary people are not safe, in Liberia. If you go to arrest someone, for something that you suspect, that they did, you should arrest that person. Even if the person is resisting arrest, that is also a charge
Yep.
on top of whatever charge, that there. But the thing is, the security apparatus, they always, use excessive force,
They in charge now.
yeah, we're dealing with people who are unarmed, This person is, harmless. They are unarmed, and you go in there to effect an arrest, and you end up killing them. You know, it sends a bad signal, to the rest of the public.
Yes, so
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it is. And police should keep us safe, not kill us.
Hmm. Police should keep us safe, not kill us. Yeah, and we hope also too the situation with the motorcyclists. We hope our young guys, because that's what can divert most people into criminal activities.
Yeah,
And that's the only source of economic income. We hope
yeah,
that way that you have an amicable solution. Like you said, public safety is a major concern.
yeah.
And Gregory Coleman being a law enforcement officer, something I was reading from Facebook, they said they said it's it's like they seen old water in old what do you call it? Old wine, new bottle, right?
New bottle,
Yeah,
that's
they said in November 2013, the early Johnson City government placed a ban on motorcyclists flying the major streets of Monrovia. The action was greeted with mixed reaction, even though the interest was to address.
he thinks he can do what he did under Sirleaf again
Yes.
in this
Then they
administration.
did it on April
Times
18th.
have changed, and he needs to be careful. He has to work with these people, to be able to let them understand it and say, this is in your interest. Because there is a way you can have a meeting with someone by just talking to them, by just talking down to them and giving them your rules and not telling them, what benefit they will get from this situation also. So that's why you need experts who understand how to talk to people in terms of, because this is a conflict mediation. Because these motorcyclists will also want to know what they can get, what's going to be more beneficial to them.
Yep.
You can explain the public health benefit of this situation to them, to their families, and that triggers down to their communities also.
Indeed, and our prayer is for with Jessica Lord and family. We hope that they will go through this and remember that justice is what you ask for and present in court. And the National County Meet is going on, Wade Williams. You've been in Liberia, County Meet unified with people. Which county are you routing for?
Love football in Liberia. Of course, I'm not following. I see posts on social media about county meet. I really don't follow.
We need to get you one jersey, man, so you can.
I really don't follow. I like the best team wins. That's the situation.
The best team win. But sports as a whole is still a good
Yeah,
thing for Liberia.
it's a unifying force in Liberia. Sports is a unifying force. So I think the county meet it brings people together, and I hope that it doesn't become like a government situation where now the president is from Lofa County and all the attention is on Lofa County. So I hope it will be a transparent and fair process. like the county meet should be. People are happy, people are celebrating. Yeah.
And at least
We have gone through the month of April almost without any situation on the ground in Liberia. So that should be a kudos to us because normally the month of April is marred by protests.
it's ongoing right now, Weddy. There's a protest ongoing right now.
There's always something happening in Liberia during April. But we have gone from April 1 to April 14 without any incident. And I think we can get through this month without any serious incident
We
happening.
hope what's going on right now don't turn into a violent situation there,
So people
because
can peacefully protest so we can go through this Ides of March, for Liberia.
yeah. So we hope that does not extend. And the Ministry of Transport said they have raised what? They have raised $2 million, 2.4 million US dollars in revenue from the first quarter, January
How
to
did they
March.
raise that revenue? 2 tickets?
Well, they did not see all of these details. 2.4 million US dollars in revenue.
To their tax and registration and all that. That's good that they were able to raise some money.
Yeah, and we hope more ministry will be able to raise. We saw LPRC presenting the first quarter report. I tell people they will start it like the good way, but
Mhm.
the details. Can you, like you said, can you specify these details? But you just sum everything. Oh, we tell them 4 million, but specify these details in tickets, right? In license registration, in new
Exactly. When
registration,
we
in
know.
yours.
Yeah. Is it what did you raise this amount to ticket, to tax, registration of tax, issuance of tax and stuff? So
We hope that they can provide all of these details, and we can know. It's a nice day, wedding. It's Friday, and we hope nothing happened by in Liberia today.
hopefully we are praying.
Yeah.
We're praying, The world is on no one is going to pay attention to Liberia if we have any kind of a civil conflict. There's so much going on right now in the Middle East. Israel just bombed Iran last night.
Yeah.
So all the attention is focused on the Middle East right now. So we cannot afford any kind of, insecurity in our region. We have to just hold the fort and make sure we just keep the peace.
Yeah, keeping the peace is important right now for Liberia. So all of the protest that is ongoing. If you're in Liberia, this is KMTV. We here on the firing squad every Friday. You can join us. We know that protests on Capitol bypass, motorcyclists block road access. They threaten that no vehicle will plow the streets beginning Monday if the police does not lift the restriction on their movement. Samuka V. Kane is reporting, a Liberian journalist and media trainer is reporting that there is a protest on Capitol bypass. And motorcycle, they said by Monday, no, we already saw that Yeke Kodoba and other is Frank Foucault. They are moving on the principal streets of Monrovia. This is a video that coming from the scene. These are things that happen as we speak to you right now in Liberia. It is roughly what's going on right now as the protest is currently staging a protest too. So there is protest all across Monrovia right now, and we hope, like you said, nothing bad happened from now to Monday. They are demanding that they will protest and black or major. Like while your right end, another person rights begin. We saw what the EFL widows of web did. The EFL web did. People were traveling, they could not apply the RIA highway, they blocked them. Some people were denied their flights just to draw the attention of the Joseph Human Borga leadership. Liberia.
LIB.
Yeah.
That's the only, they call it the denominator we all have, right?
The what?
the denominator that we all have is Liberia.
Yes, it's Liberia. And yeah, Cotton Prayer was in our studio. I wanted to share this picture with you. She asked, "Where is Wedding?"
I saw that.
Yeah, she visited Minnesota, and she was here on April 14th doing talking about the issue with Liberia. You know, as you know, a lot of things happened during the month of April, like you said. So she was here acting, talking about the how the rest riot, the situation with Liberia, how did it go, looking at what transpired during the April 14th, rest riot, and giving us another history of Liberia. And the Foreign Affairs says, hey, they have resumed normal activities. Lucas Riches is out of Liberia, and he's a free man now. Jessica is asking.
That's him sitting there.
Yeah, man sitting at RIA. He's a free man, and he's just left Liberia. Thanks, and have yourself a wonderful time. This is KMTV, and we are here on Firing Squad. Thanks to all those who've been watching from Monrovia and other parts of the world, and for your contribution towards the KMTV Firing Squad program. We are here to serve you, and will always be here. It's a sacrifice. When is it? I woke up late, but I got it done.
I didn't even know how my daughter got out of the house.
Yes.
Only when I woke up, I said, "Oh my God, I have to be on Firing Squad." Morning. Sometimes it happens.
I woke up like 4 o'clock, like, oh, I gotta prepare, get clips, read. You know, it was so basic. You gotta read all through the happenings, all of the things that happen. You gotta go and be air marking. But hey, this is a sacrifice. This is what we love to do. We're here to share the platform with you, and always feel free. This is KMTV, and we are the mother of online television. Have yourself a wonderful day and enjoy Liberia. Keep safe.
Have a wonderful day, guys. Nathan, I see you.
Okay, my Ebola hero.
Next week.
We're sending you Liberia, man, to do some reports on the Access Declaration.
Those people don't want me in Liberia.
I haven't called you narrative. We're coming petition you.
They don't want me in Liberia because, first of all, questions.
They don't want you.
Questions.
If Abraham Kumar will be your special.
Ebi say, if you ever set foot in Liberia, I will arrest you at that airport. At RRA, I'll be waiting for you.
I'll put drugs in your bed. Say, oh, I want a virus choir, so she can. Oh, there, okay.
Then you look and say, oh, on the news, you know, she came, she brought a bag that was checking, and you go look, there's illicit substance in it.
See, bro, some kind of tea. Say, okay, tea. Yeah, Liberia. Names from the Taylor era is still being fun up to now. Say, yeah. You know who am I? I said, okay.
Always a power play with them.
Okay, have yourself a great day. Visit the Great Show African Market and get all of your food there. Let's leave you with this one.
And I'm in the city of Crystal at the Grateful Family African Market. And this establishment is owned by my own friend and brother, Cyrus McGee. We go way back as media colleagues, the buddy, and you know the rest. But I'm here to support this establishment. You know, it's a small business, but it's growing and it's going to grow. And if you live in the city of Crystal, you're down Blastlick Road, you in Brooklyn Center, you in New Hope, you in Maple Grove. This is a one-stop shop for you for African deli, goose, and merchandise and cooking materials. You can just walk in here and Cyrus will be here to serve you. You can get all your African stuff to cook your potato green. Because I will leave. I love pan butter, so I'm going to get some pan butter stuff. So yeah, let's support our own, man. Let's promote our own. We can do it better for each other than ourselves. So let's do it. It's Cyrus Maggie here and the Grateful African Store. Grateful Family African Store. Thank you.
Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.